hope everybody's having a great day. So one thing you may not know about me is that Halloween is absolutely my favorite holiday. And unfortunately, because of COVID, I'm guessing that Halloween activities are not going to be as exciting as I would like for them to be. So because I'm in the van now and I'm driving across country, I decided, based on a couple of recommendations, to do a haunted road trip. So I'm actually kicking this off at a cemetery in Lincoln, Nebraska, of all places. And so I thought I would share this with you guys, and let's see if we can find some ghosts today. On a side note, here in Nebraska, apparently there is a thing called a minute or minute pirate bug. And they're actually really good for the crops, but they bite if they land on you. They don't do anything, but they just hurt. And I did not know about these until just a little bit ago. And unfortunately, I left my window down and they are all in here. So I couldn't figure out why I kept getting bit, and now I know. So I got that going for me today. Yeah, so I have that screen on the window. It's just tulle fabric held on with magnets because it's super easy, take up, take down. But I can leave the windows open at night and bugs don't get in unless they are microscopic, because these things are so tiny. I thought they were fleas. I was terrified. The first couple I found on me, I'm like, oh my God, I'm infested with fleas. Thankfully, that is not the case. They don't do anything to you. They don't inject you with anything, or they're not taking your blood or anything. They're literally just trying to figure out what you are. So they've been displaced because of the crop harvest, so they're trying to figure out what I am and if I'm food. And they have little pinchers, and so they bite and they hurt. And ironically, they're attracted to light colors, especially white. Well, so I hate to kill them, but yeah, I can't stand that. So unfortunately, I may have to dispatch those before I get to my next destination. I apologize for the windshield, but I am in a farming area, so lots of bugs, and clearly, as I've been saying. But I'm on my way to the cemetery out here, and I will give you a little bit of history about that. But how could I get any creepier than driving to a cemetery that's out in the middle of nowhere? So I feel like this might not be the right direction. I'm seeing a lot of no trespassing signs, so I might be in the wrong. Nope, I am not. I am in the right place. I'm here. There are a lot of no trespassing signs and what appears to be a gate that is latched but not locked. So I'm gonna jump online and do just a tiny bit of research before I go any further. But before I do that, I've got to get rid of these bugs. Be honest, I think I'm going to be covered with these stupid things by the time this is done. The other fun fact about the pirate bug is that they don't have an aversion to normal bug spray. So say hi, buddy. Hi, JJ. Now that I have gotten rid of all of the bugs, here is what I know about this cemetery. So the Ball Cemetery was actually used to bury pioneers in the area in the 19th century. It is still owned by the Ball family, and it is privately owned, which is one of the reasons why it is locked up. And based on the notes that I read, even though the family is very kind about people visiting, they prefer that you do not enter the cemetery without prior permission. So with that said, I am not going to open the gates. I'm not going to go inside. I'm just going to enjoy. Sorry, there was a wind chime that freaked me out a little bit. I'm just going to enjoy the scenery and the cemetery from a distance. I think if there are any ghosts or otherworldly energies, that this fence is not going to be the thing that will keep them at bay. So I think I'm just going to sit quietly, kind of get a lay of the land, enjoy this beautiful view, and we'll just see what happens. So just looking at some of the gravestones here, you can see that this is from the early 1900s. We have one here that's a little difficult to see, but it looks like it's 1841 to 1910. This one's a little more difficult to read, but it is a wife of, it looks like the last name Anson, born in maybe 1815 and died in 1904. And then you can see that clearly this is a very well maintained cemetery. Probably some more recent passings and folks that like to come out here and spend time with their family members. Now, a lot of people might think it's weird how much I like cemeteries. It has nothing to do with anything morbid or ghosts or dead things. It's actually because I feel like cemeteries are the last place that you can ever be remembered after people who knew you have gone. And just to kind of expound on that, what I mean is that in this situation, I mean, this is a family plot, a family-owned cemetery, so clearly the family, they actually know the history of the people that are buried in this area. But when you think about a large cemetery or something maybe in your own town, and you go there and you see a headstone that's 100 years old, anyone who knew you is likely gone. And so it's just because I love history and I love putting myself into situations in the past, I kind of, I don't know, get a bit nostalgic. And even though I didn't know that person, I think about people who loved them stood there, and the same place that I'm standing, anybody that physically knew that person will never stand there and remember them again. And so it feels kind of like a tribute to just the history of their lives, and being able to stand there and for a brief moment just acknowledge that they existed. So that might be a little heavy, but that's how I look at it. Okay, so this is a haunted road trip. This is my first stop. I feel a little weird doing this, but it's kind of the point. So, sorry, I feel really stupid. Okay. If there's anyone here that would like to say hello, I would love to meet you. I feel very honored to be here. Feel free to come over and say hi. It would also be really funny if you came over and pulled my hair or pushed me. I've been traveling alone for the last couple of weeks, so it would be nice to talk to somebody else. So based on reports from other people who've come out here, there are two active apparitions, if you will. One is a tall gentleman who likes to mess with people, especially after dark, even going so far as people have said to attack them. I don't really know what that means, and I really don't want to find out. So I will not be here after dark. In addition, I have been told, based on what I've read, is that the people who take care of this area have no problem coming out and protecting it. The living people who protect this area will come out and run you off, shotgun in hand if required. Now the other apparition is a lady named Mary Mumford. And I always wonder how people know that it is a specific entity, but the reports are that she can be heard laughing and even has been known to tug on people's clothing. So Mary, Ms. Mumford, if you're here, I would love to say hi. You can come pull on my clothes, tug on my hair, let everybody know that you're here. You can see this little thing that I have in my hand, can even take your picture. So if you want to come up and stand behind me, I'm going to take a picture. So if you're here, come stand behind me in 3, 2, 1. This is a beautiful place. I mean, it's so peaceful. My goodness. If you come and touch my phone, I bet it will go off. So this little black thing here that I'm holding, if you touch it, I bet you can drain my battery. Which means it'll stop working. Which would be pretty awesome if you did that. And then one last little story about the area is that headstones are known to be knocked over, and then they will fix themselves before anyone comes out to actually correct them. There actually is a headstone that is turned over at the moment. Granted, I will not be here to know if it is righted itself unless it does it now. No. Bummer. If we have ghosts that can lift multi-100-pound stones, I think we have a bigger issue. Well, sadly, the only thing we found was a beautiful view. And I've been bitten about 10 times by these little bugs. JJ went potty, and that's about the extent of it. I will say that we have kicked off our haunted road trip pretty much how I expected. I want to believe in ghosts. I do believe in ghosts. I do believe there's something, but I don't know that it is quite what people make it out to be. So, hopefully on this haunted road trip, I will get proven wrong. Come on, JJ. Let's go.